Warning, the following content is unscripted and definitely will offend your precious feelings. Viewer discretion is advised. Room this morning.
You're a dick.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Logan. And we're going to talk YouTube talk this morning with the one and only Fat Steven Seagal. But before we get to that,
get it out. Get the last out. You son of a bitch. Get it out. Get out. Get it out. Just get it out. Now, anyone in the chat, fat jokes, look, I'll wait 20 minutes. I know there's enough in the world to fill my waistline. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Shine your head like a coconut at night.
I do, yeah. Because you fall down and break a leg and gravy pours out.
I got a funny story about breaking legs, but I think everyone's seen that already. I guess it's related to what we're talking about today.
Okay, so usually Wednesdays, guys, I do this stick on my own. I do the YouTube talk on my own. We talk about YouTube, but I wanted to invite Fat Steven Seagal on this morning because I wanted to talk about what happens when you kind of switch topics on your channel. You change focus. And thank you, Darius Munchausen, for the $1.49 super sticker. And it is a popcorn. It is a bag of popcorn. Thank you.
They're trying to feed me. What the hell?
Oh yeah. Like nuggies. Chicken nuggets. Guys, if you don't have Fat Steven Seagal's P.O. box to send him.
See, look, he makes one too many fat jokes and his mic cuts out. That's what happens. Welcome to Fat Steven Hour with your host.
Fat Steven Seagal does have a P.O. box. It is attached to his channel where you can send him freeze-dried chicken nuggets. Be sure to send those to him. Be sure to send him boxes of chicken nuggets in dry ice, freeze-dried, however you can get them to him. Yeah.
No. Fat Steven has a Freedom Beer Fund and a Freedom Vape Fund. That's what Steven has. It's called PayPal. I don't have no PO box. I can't afford that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want the post office calling me up, being like, "Hey, can you clear this out? What? You got like 50 pounds of chicken nuggets. You know how weird that would look? Me trying to pick it up. Are you Fat Steven? Not today. Don't send me sausages either. That's Arwen's game. Don't even do that. That's the wrong person.
Smudge wants all of Steven's chicken nuggets. So, okay. So the focus of today's show is all about what happens when you kind of change lanes when you're doing YouTube, when you change your focus of your channel, which Fat Steven Seagal has done recently. You mainly went from video games to covering a actual live event, something that's been happening over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know where to start or how to even.
Well, let's start in the very beginning. What got you on YouTube?
On YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Oh, I just wanted money. That's pretty much it. I'm only in here for money. That whole $4 from ad revenue. I need
money.
Give me money. Give me money. No, to be honest, I started YouTube on an. I was in YouTube chats under a different name for quite a while, and I was watching how things were going, and then I revamped, made a new Google account, made a new name, and it was Fat Steven Seagal beat up Ryan Johnson. And from there,
that's the name I met you under. Fat Steven Seagal beat up, and then I eventually said it was Fat Steven Seagal ate Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, and everything else, but that name is what branched out into like doing super chats. We were in lockdowns. My job was put on hold because of the lockdowns and how everything was going in my province.
You were working at
Hot Topic, actually.
Hot Topic, yes. Yeah. You were working at Hot Topic. I remember that. I remember when they sent you your letter of, hey, we don't want you coming back.
Yeah, it was pretty much I'll lay this out straight. I do have a degree in network engineering, but I wanted to work something which I can get over kind of like my fear of people, since people have heard stories about the car accident and how I kind of shut down. And that kind of got me more comfortable dealing, since it was in a mall or a large store area, to deal with people. So that kind of like helped me get out of that whole hole. Plus, I love pop culture, and it was a way to talk to someone that's something I cared about, and take their money, but make them feel like they're making a good purchase. Yes, retail, sneaky. And then lockdowns happened. 3 months. It was more than 3 months. They waited the normal term. And then I got laid off by email. Had to sign an NDA. And from there, I said, well, I need to figure out a way to make something that isn't going to bore me, that I can have fun with. Channel was born. Then later on reached out. I was watching one of the FNT nights about, I think it was Lady Gravemaster got brought onto Gary's team. And that's what inspired me to reach out to Lorena. And then I've been working with Lorena ever since. I think it's an all jumble. I might have the timeline all mixed up with that, but I'm here now. I wanted to start doing live streams. I started getting invited more. I had to have the community help out. Even at half came out of them, half came out of my own pocket, getting my desktop out. And from there, once I got that computer built, I put as much time and effort trying to make back all the faith they did donating into me giving some type of content, which usually turned into me yelling at Explorer, and Fortnite, and Explore, and it's going to start causing me to have like irreparable emotional damage. But he's a good kid. And it was gaming. It was Babylon 5. I got to meet the pop culture crew, pop culture minefield crew. I've gotten to meet you, Comic Book Roundtable, 24/7 Klobby. Like it was like a wave. And you can't remember a lot of it, but the one thing you will remember is the people. It's really the people that give a shit. The ones that will be there to ask if you're okay. The ones that will pull you aside when you're being a dick. And I just kept pushing forward. And you know me, I've had days of doubt. I've had days of a year. 2021 was probably the worst year. 2021 was probably really bad because not only was my dad in the hospital, I had the normal stuff everyone gets when they start growing fast. Envious, entitled, angry people coming after you. But they don't come after you personally because they're cowards. They come after you in the dark, in their shadows, in their whisper groups, in their little cry culture group, whatever you want to call it. And I kept going through, keeping receipts. And now I'm here. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And it's funny how all of these people that we all know, it's such a tight-knit community. You introduced me to Keith.
Mm-hmm.
And then I run into him at a comic book store. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm Loki. He goes, oh shit, Stone Loki. I'm like, yeah, how are you doing, brother? And we sit there and talk for like an hour. Just at a random chance. It wasn't anything that was planned or anything like that. Something like that happens and you're like, damn, this is not just, this isn't just a community. It's a small world.
Yeah.
The amount of people you meet and the amount of people you talk to and the amount of people you work with. And Mexican Iron Man with $4.99 super chat. I swear it feels like yesterday when I met Fat Steven and watched him emerge from a great talent on Twitter to evolve into a great YouTuber.
Thank you, Mike. And put a mask on that taco. And I don't mean whatever taco you were thinking about yesterday, which was weird.
Thank you, Mexican Iron Man, for that $4.99 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and this one's just for you, Mexican Iron Man. Skull!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Yeah, people recognize it. It's all the horned helmet. It's always the horned helmet. You mainly wanted to do gaming? Is that what you mainly wanted to do?
And you were telling me not to. That was hilarious. You were pretty much saying, yeah, I remember that. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. I'm like I said, I wasn't trying to be famous. I wasn't trying to. I'm not making him a villain. No one think he was trying to make me see outside the box when the WandaVision stuff ended, and people saw how much I put into that, and then how much WandaVision kind of destroyed that, and they didn't want to see it falter. Loki was one of those advocates, as many. But no,
Steven's got a gift of being able to analyze far deeper than a lot of other people. He can dig into the smallest little details, and that's not something that is common. People can talk about stuff. I can talk about stuff all day. I can talk about shows. I can talk about how I feel about them. I can give you my opinion. Steven can put something under a microscope and analyze it to the smallest detail. And that's not something many of us can do. It may sound easy, but it's not. And my argument with all that was don't let that go to waste. Use it. You're worth far more than a gaming channel to me.
Thank you. I still ignored him though. I did gaming. I still did gaming. I still did.
Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass with $5 super chat. Fat Steven rolled into the scene like a bantha.
I don't want to see him twerk. Oh my god, this is too early. Even for me.
Too early for twerking.
Do not do it. I'm just gonna close my eyes and hope for a better day.
Let's go.
You said clip. I forget I'm on the fucking internet sometimes.
Yes! Look at me!
Like a bantha. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat.
And I want to be honest. Like, honestly, I say a couple of names up here, but there are so many names that I know that I consider like friends or everything. And that goes away from like Lorena, Tom, Atlantean, Daryl, Arlena, Arwen Avalon, Adega Outlaw, Keith, Gary, Nerdrotic. There's, I think it's a Culture Casino. I can't name all of them, but I do have a respect for a lot of them because I can talk to them. So just because I don't say your name, I don't want anyone to feel like I'm not remembering. I do remember, and I do. Lightning speed. What? I don't know. That's ADHD, bro. That's all. That's all ADHD. That's all ADHD.
But you put it to good use. So you started doing this analysis of WandaVision.
Yeah. It was like a Where's Waldo?
And what happened? Explain what happened with that.
I was going through like every week they would have like a preview trailer for the next episode. I was going through the Marvel wiki, the Marvel history I could find, whether it be like YouTube channels of the history. I was trying to find comic pages in relation to things I was seeing. I was playing trailers at like 0.25% just to see if there was any like hidden imagery within the scenes flipping over. I was doing all of that, taking screenshots, finding what the relation was to each picture, etc., etc. And then episode, I think 4 or 5 hit, and the whole feel of the show changed, and all the work I put in felt like it was done for nothing. And I think that was my first realization of how much Disney or Disney Marvel or whatever you want to call it just wasn't going to live through. And I didn't have respect for it, nor did I want to apply energy for it anymore.
When we came to find out that that was right when the coop restrictions happened.
Yeah. And after that, I was just like, whatever. I couldn't put faith in a property like that again, and that's why I didn't go into like Loki or Hawkeye or anything else, because I knew this.
You didn't miss much.
No, I didn't miss much. Hawkeye I watched, but I didn't want to analyze anything. And then we got The Mandalorian coming out, and then it was like this whole new divisiveness would start coming out about who was the fan and who wasn't a fan just because of what you liked and didn't like. And I was just like, that's no reason why I'm just not. I don't need other people telling me I'm a villain. I've already heard enough. I'll make myself a villain in my own way just by being me. I don't need your help. Honestly, it's franchises, but I didn't want to put any more energy into it. I felt like I put myself into something that they had a brilliant chance to go with, and it's been a downhill slide ever since.
Why Fortnite?
Why Fortnite?
Why Fortnite?
Fortnite is a game where any platform, whether it be mobile, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it is, you can all play on the same lobby. You're all together. That's that whole thing with, like we're saying, community or fellowship. You're not restricted. Anyone can talk to each other. Everyone can joke around. You can have every other channel that you know play with you, have a good time. I had 16 people in a lobby joking around, and I'd have to swap in 4 to 4 to 4. But it was a great time. That's why. That literally was why. Well, that, and I was playing beforehand because the Marvel season started, and I had like the Sentinel Graveyard, Doctor Doom taking over one place. I had Iron Man. I got a comic book world in Fortnite, and I played the crap out of it. Like, when you see Galactus coming up on the island and you're there in the shield air carrier, bro, your child is just going, why didn't I get this sooner? And then you're flying this Iron Man bus trying to take out Galactus from the inside. You come on, you can't tell me that like your child isn't going, holy shit. But then you also have to fight the trope that Fortnite, why are you playing that game? And everybody's little kids, 12-year-olds, virgins, never seen real people naked, all that shit. And it's just there's more underneath it, and I think that's where the analytical stuff comes in. It's a place where no one feels like they can. You have to say no, and I didn't like saying no.
Did you like it when Arwen ran
No,
over you?
I don't like when anyone hit me on a car. I don't like it when Jane sets me on fire. Or Explorer keeps taking my loot. When we literally have me and Jester and even Will Gentry. We're like, stop touching our loot. But what do you need? I'm like, well, we got the kill. Let us get our loot. But I can give it to you. Why are you going over to something that's not? It was a year of this stuff, but it was fun. He's a good kid. He is a good kid. But that's the reason why Fortnite is cross-platform, cross-talk, and I don't have to worry about saying no, and everyone feels like they're welcome. Like my channel has an open house policy. I can swear, so I'll put it this way. My channel is my house. It's also my job. Don't shit on my carpet. That's it. Respect the mods, respect the chat, respect me and my panel. You wouldn't like if someone was invited to your house and shit on your carpet, so why are you doing it in mine? And that's pretty much the trope I've been sticking with. A lot of people abided by it. Ones who didn't, especially over the last 2 weeks, they're in the void. They're not coming out. Well, that's how it
So
is.
let's talk about the last 2 weeks. This is the meat and potatoes of why I invited you on today.
Okay.
You made a video about what is going on in Canada. You made a video.
I did I think it was the chief Slowly, the Ottawa police chief, and it was, if I remember correctly, the first one was I think it was my last video was Bungie, and then it was someone came on a clip with Parliament on
It was the police chief.
Oh, okay. It was the police chief. It
No.
was them calling the protesters T's and A's, which is anarchists, terror. I don't know if I can say that word here. I won't.
Yeah, you can.
I can't.
Oh, you can. Yeah, say it. Yeah,
Terrorist,
okay.
anarchists, whatever you want to call it. They were calling these people terrorists, and then I was like, why? And it's just a protest. And from there, I started watching these live streamers down the ground more and more. But the problem was there wasn't enough people. So I was going through Facebook. I was going through Instagram, Chinese Talk, TikTok for short. I was doing all this stuff. And eventually I started going live and going through as many different streamers on the ground as possible, not only so other people could find those channels that were very interested as well, which literally the world is watching. And and from there, it just became an ongoing thing. I would wake up, set up the thumbnail, go live, hit as many streams as possible while giving credit, giving my commentary, my thoughts and feelings, trying to see both sides of the coin. I am not political. I'll say this right now. Anyone who tries to put a political title on me, get the hell out. Get the F out. You can't. I despise politics. I can cover a political subject, but it doesn't make me a political person. It makes me seem I'm trying to dig under deeper. And this whole protest thing, with the labels coming out of Parliament and the labels out of legacy bullshit news and what we're seeing on the ground, we're very far and few in between. They were very different. The views are there. And I thought, well, how can I help as a Canadian? This is in my back door. And from there, it took over me. It literally, my mind thought nothing of where are the feeds? How fast can I find them? Let's make sure there's enough, not only records, because as I say, let's say any type of platform can wipe you out. Let's get as many done as possible. And I just started focusing on it. The chat started blowing up. People started giving their things and saying this and that. And I'm like, take yourself out of the politics for a moment. Just stop worrying about the labels. Stop it. There's a brilliance in humanity right here that a lot of people haven't noticed. I don't disagree that there's probably outliers and troublemakers causing shit across Canada that are either under the trucker banner or they're believed to be part of that trucker convoy and just being actual harassment. I don't doubt it because I haven't seen video proof, so I cannot deny it. But when you're seeing hundreds of people who have spent the last 2 years locked down, told they can't visit their loved ones in long-term care, can't celebrate birthdays, holidays, Christmases, New Year's, and they're not afraid. They're giving hugs, high fives, bouncy castles of terror, and living. That's why I wanted to focus on it, because I think everyone's so focused on the political nature of how people operate, because we're in that generation, we're in that level of life, and I hate using life as a word to attach to it, that you have to be this, or this. No one dictates who I am. No one gets to dictate what I believe in or vote for, or if I don't vote for. You don't have that right. That's the whole thing that came down to this. We used to live in a way where you could disagree or agree to disagree with your neighbor. then go out and have a barbecue with them and share a beer and not villainize each other. And what I saw in Ottawa, I was seeing that again. It was like a rebirth, and the world saw it too. Yet you had Legacy still attacking them, and pretty much I believe JT, our prime minister, was the cause of it, villainizing them before talking to them. He effed up by not talking. That's my opinion on that one. He could have just talked to them. We all thought that way.
There's been a lot that's happened over the last couple of weeks, and one of the things that has happened in the States, this isn't happening in Canada, but this is happening in the States, a lot of the mandates have been rolled back. And I honestly believe that it is because of what is going on in Canada.
Yeah.
You can be on whatever the side of the political spectrum you want to be, but none of these rollbacks were being pushed. None of these statements by governors about how they can't lead a state when no one's following them. They have to roll back these restrictions. None of this was being said before this was happening in Canada. It was all like a seesaw. Oh, we're going back into lockdowns. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're doing that. It was like a seesaw back and forth of what was actually going to happen. And then this, yes, in California, mask mandates ended this morning.
Nevada, that day, whatever day it was, that day they stopped the mandates in Nevada. You have convoys in Jerusalem, Israel, New Zealand. Supposedly there's stuff still going on in the U.S. Just be prepared. Because Facebook deleted that 130,000 people group. It doesn't mean it was dead. There was supposedly a convoy in Buffalo. There's support from the U.S. Yes, but somehow this is called outside influence, and that's a whole other story I'm not getting into. And all the while, I'm seeing them talking about outliers, and I think I'm going to give the best summary I can remember of outliers. Outliers is, let's say you have 50 American flags, and then you see one Yahtzee or one Confederate flag. Of course, you're going to focus in on those two things because those are the things you're seeing. They're outliers. They're out of view. They're pretty much out in plain sight in a crowd that doesn't have it. And they start saying it was about this and it was about that, and I'm like, in fact, I saw your comment, open discussion. I try to keep it that way. Thank you. Because Fixie here was honestly, you were being a troublemaker at the first, but I know you weren't. I think you were just trying to give logical offset of discussion of what could be going on, but I was trying to detach from that. So I respect him for how he's changed or she's changed. But I'm seeing villainizing of a people that the prime minister pretty much said, yeah, you were allowed to. I already did it. Go ahead. Keep doing it. And that's a divide. You're saying it's okay not to talk to people, to label them and make them the enemy because it's easier than looking an actual human being in the eye and seeing how much you're causing either pain or joy. I kind of live by a thing that if I F up and someone tells me, I will own it and apologize. I will also apologize for things that I automatically think I effed up on and I didn't, because I'm really empathetic to people. I believe no one should label you except for yourself. I hate praise. I hate it. And then people like, you just got to take it. People be yelling at me, you just got to be humble. I am being humble. I don't know why people are praising something I'm doing when it's literally just giving eyes to people who are on the ground and I can't get there.
Okay. I can help you with that.
Oh no, here comes again.
You took a stand. Whether you realize it or not, you took a stand. You decided I'm going to cover this. And this was before you had a giant influx of subscribers, views. People can say whatever they want to. You set this course before any of that happened. You set the course you were going to take, and you decided I'm going to cover this and I'm going to keep covering it that's exactly what you told me. And this is before you had a huge influx of subscribers, attention to your channel. This was when you had, 20, 30 people watching what you were doing, and then it exploded.
Sunday hit, and I went live covering a guy on Facebook because Facebook's been suppressing a lot of this stuff. And I went live, and as soon as I went live, I was watching, and I'm like, I have 3,000 people watching me. What the fuck do I say? And it was at that moment I'm like, this means a lot to people. It meant a lot to me. I still can't figure out. People were saying you're a patriot. I'm like, no, maybe, but it was just my eyes couldn't look away. I was trying to see what we've not had for 2 years. A lot of us. When my dad went to the hospital last year, in the beginning of last year, a lot of people remember that. I wasn't allowed to go to the hospital. No one was allowed to go to the hospital. I was Loki can admit, I was a wreck for those weeks. I was a wreck for a long time because I was like, what's the next phone call going to be? It went. I've lost too much to have anyone try to take too much anymore away from me. But there's people out there that's lost a lot more. And I think people need to see that we don't have to be afraid anymore. And that I love humanity. I love to be able to do it, like hugs, high fives, laughs, street hockey in your nation's capital. Like that's the one thing that bothered me with all of this. They're labeling them all these different titles. And I'm seeing on the ground footage of like street hockey, veterans cleaning the war memorials of the unknown soldier, praying to them, protecting them. One guy sat there and was protecting it until they put the fence around. They kept their whole it wasn't their city, but they kept the city and the capital clean, shoveling snow, picking up garbage, feeding homeless. And yes, I know about the stories about the whole some people throwing fire bricks or trying to light fireworks in condo lobbies and all that stuff. Like I'm not denying that, but I haven't seen any proof of it. I've just heard things and seen articles. So
Speaking of that, you got very animated when there was coverage when JT was talking about disrespect to the memorials, tearing down fences, almost like they were destroying things when that's not what was happening. We have seen over the last 5 years.
Yesterday, that clipped out.
Yes, we have seen over the last 5 years people destroy, pull down statues, all kinds of things, and that's not what was happening.
You can share that if you want, but it's safe. That was yesterday's Parliament. That was yesterday. Snoopy says Snoopy went down there. He actually flew down there. He came on the stream showing his camera view. He was there when they sang national anthem and did prayer on the war memorial. Made a space for us to talk and watch what's going on. I just wanted to make sure everyone was welcome, Snoopy. Y'all paid me with your own precious commodity. It ain't money. That's time.
And that's the video in the chat. There was a part of a speech that JT gave about how people were ripping down fences and defacing the memorials, and you see very clearly how they respectfully moved the fences,
piled them
down, gathered around the memorial, prayed. Put the fences back up, cleaned everything out, and left it better than they found it.
Yeah.
Yet this person goes on national television and tells the world that they tore down the fences of the memorial. And how do you, not just as a Canadian, but covering all this, how does that affect you?
That's why I'm not political. Because at the end of the day, it's true, and I think everyone can agree with that. Every politician lies. That's why I won't vote. I won't go into politics. I will not choose a side, nor be told them to side. I will not, because it's all. It feels like last few weeks I've been watching high school with a bunch of people who are literally mandating how the country is supposed to be run, and they're forgetting that the people are the ones suffering from all of it. And it was just like, what the is going on? You're saying it's no longer okay to talk. It's okay to call people misogynists and racist and all. I'm losing my mind because it's like the high school bully mentality. Everyone's been bullied one time or another, right? Everyone's been bullied. Everyone's been cornered by bullying his cronies, or have the bully target you, and the rest of the class goes along with it so they don't get bullied. And it just feels constant bullying. I've been on the end of that fist numerous times. It just felt like bullying, and I'm like, how is it I can see all of this narrative going on one side, and then I'm seeing people with smiles and hugs being respectful? And I have to keep saying this. Yes, I acknowledge the fact that there were shit disturbers. I will never deny that. It's not siding with the truckers. It's not deciding with how Ottawa's citizens feel. There's more. And I was trying to look underneath all that. And I'm like, I appreciated not seeing fear anymore in people. People just living. I think living is the main goal we've lost in 2 years. They're trying to kill the soul. I don't know anyone who appreciated the last 2 years. Maybe I'm wrong, but no one wants to live that the rest of their life.
No.
I already know when my dad passes and the day I fall down or my spine decides to give out, there's going to be no one there. I have that in the back of my head every day. A lot of people have that type of thought when it comes to things. But when you're seeing people standing up, flags everywhere, you're seeing Quebec, Fleur-de-Lis, and Canada flags side by side. I can't explain it. It's like a wildfire that the world is watching. I don't know how to say it. I'm not promoting the truckers. Okay, I'm not. This is not siding. This is the humanity. The humanity is brilliant. Humanity is supposed to be brilliant. It's supposed to be evolved. It's supposed to be around each other. It's supposed to appreciate each other as well as disagree with each other. And it was there. It was like when I used to party at raves or DJ, or when I used to smoke a joint with my courier friends and just chill waiting for the next package. It was like we all hear about people who have PTSD when it comes to whether they served or not in flashbacks. But this wasn't a flashback of the opposite. It was the flashback of happiness. And you could see it everywhere. Come on down, experience it for yourself. Everyone keeps saying that. Come down, experience it for yourself. And more people started showing. And it was, I don't know how to describe it. It has taken me over. And then Windsor came out. And I started covering Windsor. And that day, I think it was Saturday, it shook me to the core because I saw the opposite of yin and yang. Which one's yin and which one's yang, light and dark? I'm trying to remember. Is yin light?
I believe yin is white and yang is black. Yes.
I've seen a lot of yin. I try to keep the conversations fair, and I do research. People were sending me articles and links. I was watching Parler in real time when it happened, and then I saw the yang. And that was when you're seeing kettling done in Windsor. Old men getting slammed against cars. Cops holding tear gas at the wrong distance at someone's windshield to their face, and then coming closer to that could literally shatter someone's chest. I was told this yesterday.
Yeah, cave in their chest.
Yeah, I've seen the counter protesters twice villainizing, calling domestic terrorism on their fellow Canadians, hiding behind their masks because they can't even say without. Well, whatever the reason is, the mask is not the important part here. I have never.
Really quick, $5 super chat from Darth Arlena says, "We love you, Fat Steven, and we support Canada. #freedom, Trudeau human rights criminal." Thank you, Darth Arlena, so much.
Thank you. I'm gonna say this right now. Watch that Saturday stream. Watch the Windsor one. I know all the thumbs on Windsor, but like. We all know about Star Wars and the Jedi and the Sith, the light and the dark of the Force. I got a firsthand experience through someone else's camera what it's like to see the dark side of people. And it was like hate personified. It was, I understand you're angry, you want your city back. But the problem is that when it comes to your city is you chose to live in the city's capital. Your choice. It's your city because you live there, but it's the whole country's capital. It has a double meaning there. And when you're saying get out of our city, that's pretty freaking selfish. A lot of this seems to be coming from a selfish mandate. When the injunction came out about the horns, that 21-year-old that they're propping up is like, oh, the one who defeated the truckers. There was an interview with Viva Frey. They did it. They had a shit ton of stuff. They want cars towed, fines, they all this stuff. The only one that was won in that injunction was the car horns. They wanted to stop air horns and that train horn in one of the trucks, and they abided by it. That's it. The list is crazy. And then I'm watching Windsor because every streamer's in Ottawa, right? No one's in Windsor. And I started going through Facebook. I joined a group and I started seeing Windsor feeds and I started posting them up more and more and more. And the cops moving in the tactical trucks. We had spotters, canine units, tear gas, rubber bullets, people being pulled out of the cars. Yesterday it was National Flag Day and people are getting pulled over and arrested or fined because they have a Canada flag on their truck. Because they're automatically assuming that they're part of the convoy. You had a guy who was slammed to the ground and they were stomping and kicking on his phone while arresting him. I know covering this, you have to cover both sides. Like there's always the happiness, but there's also the seriousness of protest. And Windsor was inspired by the Ottawa Convoy. It's not part of it, from my understanding. That's what they said. And Saturday shook me to the core. That's why I've taken a couple of days off, just relaxing and not going fully into coverage. And I know a lot of people miss my chat, miss the streams, but it hit me in a way that I could not perform like I was, and no amount of beer would fix that. I was terrified of seeing that be where I live. And no one deserves to wake up and be judged by their fellow neighbor because of whether they're wearing something on their face or how many holes they have in their arm.
That's what's ended up happening.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I moved. The hypocrisy of it all was the little mountain that I lived up on was very lax. You could go to the grocery store without a face diaper. You could go to, the shops, and everybody was really nice. And that's the way the whole town used to be. It is the friendliest town I ever lived in. I made a joke that when I left, they were singing on the street, come back to Branson, and, selling, throwing fruit. And it was just like, everybody was cool. When I went there, it was literally the nicest town I'd ever lived in, with the nicest people. Everyone would say good morning and hello to you, and they would wave and all kinds of shit you just don't get other places. Some of the best people for veterans. I've never, ever, ever seen veterans get treated so well as in Branson. And then all this happened, and it was a stark divide. You had the people up on the mountain that were still the same way they used to be, and then you had the people down in town that were going absolutely, positively crazy for one reason or another because of mandates. And those people got very nasty. Some of them got very nasty with me. I had a problem because I did not want to wear a face diaper in a drive-through, and I was told I would not get service in a drive-through if I did not have a face diaper on. And that, unfortunately, was from Krispy Kreme, and I'll never go back to Krispy Kreme again. Bank Renegade with $5 super chat. Good morning. Thank you for doing your stream, Stephen. They have been very informative and honest. We need more of that. Absolutely.
The thing is, I appreciate that, but I know a lot of people have even said in the chat, if it wasn't for you restreaming other streamers, I wouldn't have found the actual streamers on the ground. And I'm like, that was the main goal. And there was a side to that, because I was starting to do some restreams, and I'm crediting them, and then I'm hearing them bitching. And this is the one thing that bothers me, okay? If you want to be a streamer, or you want to go down to Ottawa, or anything that happens in your country, I'm going to say this right now, and you can criticize me later about this. Because, yes, I do make jokes about the Freedom Beer Fund, because, hey, I have a way of delivering a joke without being like, give me money. But if you're going down to a protest like this, or any type of event like this, and you start bitching, I'm going to tell you right now, bitching about restreamers because they might be taking away money you might get, I will never restream you again. I will criticize the fuck out of you, but I won't restream you again. And when you start threatening copyright bots on people on YouTube because they are just trying to do the best they can because everyone has their limitations, are you down there for the protest and trying to get boots on the ground? Or are you down there to line your pockets and popularity and clout? Because once you cross that threshold of what everyone else is doing, trying to get, whether it's the truth out or showing what's actually going on, be persuaded by money or popularity, I won't restream you. Ever. And I don't like restreaming people. But it's the only thing I can do because I'm taking care of my dad. I have physical walking limitations. But things like this are bigger than money. And I have seen some channels that have been inspired to go down personally, and I'm so happy from them. They're freaking awesome. And I've seen other ones that are just constantly complaining about restreams, money, and views.
Some people do not get it. I'm just gonna say that some people don't get it. Some people are never going to get it. Some people look at this and say, well, the whole point of doing this is to make a whole bunch of money. They do not see that this is about doing something that you love. doing something as a service, doing something that you love, standing up, speaking out. It's not about that. It's about the paycheck.
Oh, yeah. I had some guy in my chat who would constantly say the weirdest things. Like, I can't wait for like the bulldozers and the violence to start on the truckers. And I can't wait. I was like, dude, calm the hell down. Calm down. Stop talking about this stuff. No one wants to see violence in the chat. You shouldn't be promoting wanting to see people getting hurt. And eventually I blocked him. So what this person did is every channel I was restreaming, and he was in the chat saying he's stealing your watch hours. He's stealing your money. He would not stop attacking every channel I was in. The problem is with the channel he was in saying I was stealing watch hours. I interviewed Red Prince the day before. And Red Prince said it was okay. Red Prince talked to me. I had him live. You can find him in one of the live streams. Red Prince is hopefully going to set me up so I can actually talk to the truckers live and have him through my StreamYards so I can thank the truckers or even just talk to him, ask questions. But he's blown up. He's a good kid. He's a smart kid. We have VidStorm down there. Ottawa Walks. Ottawa Scotty. There is Mac John. War Campaigns down there. There's This is the Way or something like that. Viva Frey. There's so many people down there, all boots on the ground. They've even made a schedule like who's doing the day, who's doing the night. You have ZOT, ZOKE. There are so many people down there. They're all hashtagged in the description of every stream I do. The ones, well, they don't bitch about money. And
yeah,
but it's just all I can say is fuck yeah. There's going to be shit. There's going to be hardships. There's going to be negativity up the ass. There's going to be hate. But there's also love. It comes both ways. And I've talked to a few people in Twitter DMs that are truckers or are not truckers or are affected by Ottawa or affected by other provinces. And you know what I've done? When people try to come at me treasure hunter, dude. There. If you can find the stream, I'll try to clip it out. But there, we had a panel. I think Daryl, Arlena, Arwin, myself. It was a great night. Me treasure hunter was restreaming us, right? Because we were restreaming and having commentary. So I saw it on his channel because I was looking for a new feed.
I remember this.
You remember that? Yeah. And I'm like, so what happened was I'm like, hey, me treasure hunter, make a smiley face on the screen if you can hear us or where we're coming from. And literally we were going back and forth. And I started playing like a bantha, like the one I have where he gets shot off the car. And we're just doing that, and we're joking around. And he actually finally finds my channel, comes to me, and he's in the chat going, bro, I couldn't figure out what panel was talking to me because he has multiple feeds up on one screen. I couldn't say who was talking to me. I couldn't tell what was going on. He's cracking up laughing. I'm laughing. The panel's laughing. But when the whole time you're seeing streamception of the bantha going in and in and in and in and in. And it was just, that was one of the best ones. And he still pops up, gives me information. He says, hey, once in a while. I've had other streamers who are literally cropping the names out of people. Travel Fun 69 is another one. Don't forget that one. But there's other streams where they're cropping it out so it doesn't show the names of the super chats who it's going to. And I found one of those, and I started going to him, and I put that on the screen. I'm like, hey, buddy, are you cropping our names out? Because technically I'm restreaming, and you're restreaming a restreamer of someone else, and I'm giving credit. So why are you cropping the name out? And then all you see is live on the screen. He's like, oh, crap, got to change window tabs, new share, and you're watching it. There's been some fun moments. There's also been some fucking scary moments. Really scary moments. I'm sorry for swearing.
No, you're fine. It's okay.
Really scary moments and like stuff I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. Like the kettling, the stuff in Ottawa. That's lightweight right now. When you're seeing stuff in Windsor, Coots, BC. I have another clip I have to upload, but there was a line of protesters in Surrey, BC, I think 2 nights ago. They were singing the national anthem, and the cops just arrested them, pulled them out. And the guy in the truck I showed you guys yesterday, someone got pulled over for having Canada flags on their truck, assuming they were support a convoy or whatever. A $567 ticket for cop mischief for having Canada flags on National Flag Day. Think about that.
How has this affected you personally? On a personal level, how has all of this, I'm not just talking about what's going on with Freedom Convoy, I'm talking about the work you've been doing. How has this affected your relationships with people? What has been the outcome of all of this for you while you have been doing this?
I would say about 99% have supported what I've been doing and given me props and understand why I'm focusing on this. I've given up a lot of shows and tried to be on shows while having a stream going at the same time. So I've tried to balance. 99%, maybe 97%. There's just maybe a couple others who maybe don't understand, or maybe it's something else, but I don't hold them against it. but this, honestly, it's surreal. I don't care about the subscribers. I don't care about your money. And I've said that before, and it might sound derogatory, but I don't. I wanted to help out the best I could. Now I'm terrified what to do next for content. But it has changed me for the better, because we can't live in that bubble. And I think it's given me a reality of where my country could go or where it couldn't go. But at the same time, it gave me a whole new perspective on that block button and how much I appreciate that. You don't like my house? Get the out. No one's forcing you to be here.
That's right. That's right.
No one's seen me angry except maybe one or two people. Don't get me angry. I have yet to get angry on YouTube to a point where you like don't believe I'm Steven. Don't get the person behind the Fat Steven avatar angry.
Mexican Iron Man with $4.99 super chat says, from the war campaign, we have our man on the ground row.
Yep.
I applaud Fat Steven for his efforts to spread the word across the world. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man.
Thank you. The one thing I will say, and Mike, that's one thing I have not done. I have not restreamed war campaign. I have respected that because I don't know how they would take it. I haven't had a chance to reach out to them. They are doing good work. So that is one person I have not restreamed, but I have put in the thank yous in the description. I will not restream war campaign out of respect because I know how the ties throughout YouTube and stuff. So Ro is down there. He's doing good. He bought a whole bunch of that freedom mayo for the truckers and the natives or the indigenous. And yeah, they're busting their asses, everyone. Dude, they're in like minus 20-degree weather. Their gimbals are freezing. Their phones are dying. They have battery packs up the ass. They are... whatever forbidden, I understand. Like what I'm trying to say is, I think what's going on in Ottawa and how everyone's watching, whether it be in the world, the U.S., it's something bigger now than personal feelings. In a way, I think it's a chance for people to get out of that shell of fear, and I think that's what's happening. Ottawa. I mean, if you've watched Ottawa's on Saturday nights, it's like looking at Canada Day in the middle of winter. I have never seen so many flags and people cheering. And not only that, the city doesn't look like it's been torn apart the next morning. They're up at 6 o'clock in the morning cleaning the town. The city has refused to pick up garbage. They literally have to carry it out in bags to the edge of whatever they have blocked off, and someone has to come pick it up. Think about that. The city won't even clean up their own war memorial, but they put a fence around it, denying veterans the chance to visit it, and then blame them for tearing it down. Like things like that. I'm like, how is prayer and the national anthem disrespecting? And cops are even now, any cops who support what's going on or support like this is called a message, they're getting vilified by their fellow police officers. People. I think there's a lot more to life than just jumping on a bandwagon and either shitting on or praising. Why can't we just be friends? Not friends, but just agree to disagree, move on, and share a beer. Why is that so not? That's something so simple is so forgotten. Now, I don't think anyone has answered that question. That's where I am right now, Loki. I'm frustrated because I don't know what else to do, yet you can only do so much.
JT came out the other day and declared a statement. He declared the Emergencies Act in Canada, and I'm not going to dig into the politics of this here, but what I'm going to say is that because me and Steven were talking about this before we went live this morning, the Canadian Civil Liberties Association, the CCL, which pretty much defends Canadians' civil rights, their civil liberties, made a statement this morning and said the federal government has not met the threshold necessary to invoke the Emergencies Act. This law creates a high and clear standard for good reason. The act allows government to bypass ordinary democratic processes. This standard has not been met.
It hasn't. And that's why they have to go to vote within the week. And what I was watching yesterday, that's where the clip came from with the memorial about the tearing down the fences, is that he was answering the question. Quebec pretty much said, we don't want any part of this. We don't want to be entailed to this. There's been other provinces as well saying, we don't want a part of this. Quebec even said, he says that he's talked to the premiers of all the provinces. And then Quebec said literally pretty much, he hasn't talked to anyone. He just told us he's initiating it. I'm like, so no matter, something's weird, but like I said before in some of the streams, this is a battle of optics, and the optics on all of this is there's no picture yet painted. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. Like I can see beyond just the crap going down, but I can respect that there is crap going down. But I don't know. You know what I mean? You ever try to explain something without sounding like, oh, he's just siding with this one? It's there's so much more that only beer can help me describe. That's the joke. But we're not done yet. I don't think the world's done yet. I think the world just is starting to wake up. And there's been a message throughout all of this coverage that I love the most. I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for my grandkids. Because a lot of people out there are parents or have brothers and sisters, aunts, all that stuff. And a lot of them are heroes to those people. They look up to them people, especially the truckers. You've already villainized and put a target on people's backs, JT did, with the whole misogyny and racism shit and the DT, the domestic terrorism, all that stuff. You've already put labels on this one. You've already said it's okay for a country to attack people because someone that's running the country said so. They're going to be targeted for the rest of their life, and their kids and everyone else who's associated with them, because people are going to see their faces or see whatever, and it's going to go downhill. But the last thing they want to do is go home and feel like they failed their family. A lot of kids look up to their parents or whoever's taking care of them as their heroes. And it's the same thing in comics. Or watching heroes being destroyed or villains being propped up to be sympathetic. I think that's the most heartbreaking thing they're fighting right now is being told by someone else that you're a villain or failing without having a chance to fight. And the way they're fighting is peaceful to a degree. I don't know what else is going on. I can only say from perspective of what I've seen on the ground. Respectful and goddamn loud with honking. I'll say that right now. But I'm not doing this for personal gain. Well, that's a lie. Maybe I'm doing this because it's given me moments of joy and faith in people. That's it. I just want to help. I can't leave. I can't get down there. And whatever bias someone else has, whether you're covering stuff like this or you're doing your own content and people try to judge you for whatever, and they refuse to listen to you or talk to you, and they just want to go along with that perception, you're cowards. If you have the inability to have a discussion with someone, to work problems out first, and you just want to play along, whether it's a victim card or a hate card or an entitled card or you don't deserve this card, rather than talking to someone and working it out, you're a coward. And no one can change that but you.
Damn straight.
Goddamn Mongolian!
She walk. She walk. Get your shit beef here. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Snowdub, for that $2 super chat. Captain Trek says Steven is doing it for personal gain, not monetary gain.
Personal. Oh, I guess
as a person,
fulfilling the soul. I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
Fulfilling the soul. Yeah. May I take an order, please?
May I take your order, please? She beef, she chicken. He's trying to do it in his video game streams too, and I'm like, dude, you need to work on that accent. I didn't want to write it in the chat.
We have spent the last 2 years goofing off, laughing, talking about what's his name hidden in the basement in Warner Brothers and DCB now. Captain, help me. when we did the DC stream. Oh, I can't remember that guy's name right now. Jim Lee, yeah, being held captive in the basement. Help me. They're holding me prisoner. Yes. We've spent the last 2 years joking and laughing. And the This doesn't stop that. It doesn't change who you are. Changing what you're looking at on YouTube doesn't dictate. Yes, absolutely, right there. Help me. Doesn't change who you are as a person. You're still the same person. You're still the same Fat Steven we've always known. You're just looking at something that is it's different.
Okay.
That's it. McKinney Draws with $2 super chat says, "Morning, brothers." Good morning, McKinney. Thank you. Thank you so much for that super chat. Yeah, Project Storytime. Jim Lee? Yes, Jim Lee. Be Jim Lee. Be Jim Lee.
I just hope everything just works out. And
I don't want to see anybody hurt.
that's exactly it. And I've seen people hurt. Same time, I'm not preaching. I'm the last person to preach. It's just perspective, an opinion, commentary, a point of view.
Before we get out of here this morning, I want to ask one last question.
Yeah. Is it a fat joke?
How has, besides your weight,
No, for fuck's sakes.
how has this affected you the most? Besides your weight, I know you've gained like 80 more pounds sitting at your computer,
Really?
clicking away, you know, with a wrist brace, because that's all you do is sit there on your computer. The fat guy on South Park.
Let's just say it this way. I started with a couple hours to almost doing 12 to 16 hours a day straight of live stream coverage and finding as many people as I can, different point of views, clips, all that stuff. It has emotionally, after the Windsor stuff, drained the hell out of me. It has fueled me up. It has given me an avenue of how I can apply myself to other things. It has made me appreciative of the people who have been there, and it's also made me appreciative of the people that don't agree with it. But I gotta pay my bills, and I'm not talking like my phone bill. I'm talking I gotta pay my bills. I gotta live, and this is one way of living. I've been hit hard. I have been hit to the point where you ever had that feeling where you almost fall a fall distance and you catch yourself, but your whole body has that weird numb, heavy feeling for a while?
Yeah.
I had that for 48 hours up the Windsor stuff and the counter protester stuff. And it took a while of me like, okay, screw this. I just want to play the video game and stream on Twitch. And I would go to Twitch and I just wanted to put all that negative energy into just playing a game and kind of refuel. And yeah, who cares? People might unsub like, well, where is he? I'm like, well, I'm not a TV channel. I'm still a human being. It has been fulfilling and draining at the same time, and I don't regret it. But I will also stand by. Nobody gets to punish me for my choices on my channel. You can either respect them, not respect them, agree or disagree. But at the end of the day, it's my choice. It's my life. I'm just doing the best I can, just like a lot of us are doing our content the best they can. That's all you need to ask of yourself. And anyone tries to tell you different, why are you talking to them? Seriously, ask that question. Why are you talking to people if they don't want to listen?
And really quick before we get out of here, big shout out to Arwen, because Arwen has been riding shotgun with you a lot.
So was Explorer and Daryl and Valiant and actually Basco as well, Enzo as well. Adega's popped on, you've popped on, Orlena's popped on. Shout out to Snoopy for giving me the footage when he went down. There's been so many. Like I can't name you all. Like I'm gonna need to have a petition of people who are like, oh, you know, yeah, all right. Oh,
All right, we're getting out of here. We can't hold up Fat Steven from getting food any longer. He needs at least 10,000 calories a day, otherwise he'll go down. He's so big now. check out Fat Steven Seagal's channel. It is right there. That is in the chat of this stream. If you guys aren't already subscribed, check out his channel. He has an absolutely wonderful channel. And once you are caught in that gravity, you will never escape.
And if you are subbed, check again, because they have been fluctuating people like a mofo. But again, that's your choice. You're welcome there. Just don't shit in my house. That's it.
And I agree with McKinney. We are all very proud of you, brother.
I don't get it.
We will be back with a game stream later tonight. Until then, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. And have a great one, folks.
Bye.
These videos
Oh my God, you so fat! You so fat! You so big! You
This
go to
stream
buffet,
was
you eat all
brought to you
day!
by Insecurities of Mischief.
You eat all day. You must leave.